Hey Shayne, good to have you tonight.
Hey, nervous.
And it looks like the Rorschach, I don't know how to say your last name, I'm so sorry, has already joined us. So good to see you. Hold on
How's it
one
going?
moment. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second.
Puppies.
Sorry guys, he acts like and just an
I'm surprised my
hour
dog's
ago.
being good.
Yeah, I'm actually babysitting my mom's dogs. So oh goodness. He's probably just ready for bed. But go
Yeah,
here.
around this time I started getting sleepy too, but I wake up real
Comments.
early.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're not gonna go too long tonight. I know everyone's probably over at the other stream because I didn't realize somebody else was streaming at the same time. But we'll go ahead and get started. So for
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know who you are, can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Shane and I keep fish and shrimp and a little bit of reptiles. And during the day I'm a store manager for 7-Eleven. And so basically I when I'm even working there I'm constantly talking about fish. But um yeah.
Yeah, how it is. It becomes part of your life, and you can't help not to talk about it. So, so when did you get into the hobby of keeping fish, and how did that kind of come about? And where are you at now in your hobby?
Well, right now, well, I started when I probably had my first tank when I was 12, and I've had them off and on since then. But then, like, I really got back into having tanks. Last year, I got my first tank. It was a 5-gallon fluval, and I put a beta in it, and then it kind of it just went it just went crazy after that. I wanted another beta. Well, you need another tank, and then another beta. I'd go to PetSmart and I'd see a beta, so I need another tank. And then I saw the shrimp, and then the shrimp just went crazy. Like I started with 10, and then now I have I don't know, like a couple hundred as far as like a Bloody Mary uh shrimp. The red cherries, well, they're not really. They're real dark red. I don't
Those
know
are
how they do. I
Nina.
don't do. And and yeah, yeah. Now I have some Shelleys, and those are cute, fun little fish, you know. But but yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I got a 40-gallon just
yeah.
sitting. I have no idea what I want to put in it or where I want to go with
Oh
it
wow.
next. But like Petco's dollar a gallon sell really get you. You know, you're like, well, I'll pick up a tank because I know I'm going to use it. You know, but as long as I have room,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Room is the issue.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in
definitely.
a trailer and I have like 10 tanks, and there's a couple of them that I don't have anything in right now, but I'm kind of out of room at the moment. Um, got to
Yeah,
kind of rework everything to figure out if fit anything else anywhere else. So
yeah, and you know, you hear people talking about
yeah,
putting them in
so
the
you mentioned
bathroom,
have some
but
reptiles. What kind of
I can't take that. Well, right
yeah,
now I just have
my
a
bathroom's not big
gecko.
enough for that.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, right now I just have
Okay.
a leopard gecko, and but I'm interested in getting a couple of cresties soon. And then I have some jumping
Mm-hmm.
spiders as well. Yeah.
Oh, those are cute. I don't do spiders, but those are cute. I don't do snakes
Yeah.
either. So I had a crusty, and I actually just lost her a couple
Oh.
weeks ago. It was very sad. I had her for a little over 2 years, but from the get go, I had issues. I had done my research because I'm one of those people that I research everything before I get it. And what I had not researched is what the weight should be. And once I realized she wasn't gaining any weight, I started looking into it. Can you still hear me? It looks like I'm frozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and then when doing research, I found out that they're usually born at like 1.5 grams, 2 grams in weight. And when I got her at 8 weeks old, she was only 1 gram. So at 2 years old, she was 7 grams. She never lost any weight. She never had
Oh.
any signs of parasites or anything. She was a very picky eater. She just never grew. She never gained weight. She never grew. Um, so that was pretty bad. I don't know if I ever decide to get one in the future, it will not be a baby or a juvenile. It will be a full grown adult that is at the proper size that it needs to be. Um, because I don't want to go through that. I actually went and bought her live crickets and brought them home and went to put them in her cage, and that's in her terrarium, and that's where when I found her. So, um, yeah, she had a bioactive enclosure and all of that. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I try to have,
she was
especially
beautiful.
for fish or reptiles. I try to have the enclosure set up before I even like bring them home because with my leopard gecko, I ordered him from BHB Reptiles, and they flew him in overnight, and I didn't see him. He was 4 months old. I didn't see him for like 4 months. He went into this log, but I knew that he was alive because he kept all the mealworms are disappearing in his dish. I would just keep it full, and one day I saw his little head poking up out of the log. I was all, "You've been living in there the whole time?" Like I didn't even know it was hollow down there, you know. So, but now he's the fattest gecko I've ever owned in my life, you know. Because probably about
Mm-hmm.
10, 15 years ago, I used to breed leopard geckos and corn snakes, and it just got to be too much, and that's so. So now I just do it for fun and take care of like a good amount, a good amount, not too much, a good amount.
Yeah, yeah. So, have you ever had any other types of reptiles other than the corn snakes and the geckos?
Oh yeah, I've owned like several species of snakes, and lizards, a, a lot, a lot. I had everything from
Mm-hmm.
like a black Mexican king snake, corn snakes. Um, I had an 8 foot red-tailed boa at one time. Um, I used to take her out and get like people would pay me to take pictures with her, which wasn't necessary, but like they would offer all the time, and I'm like, I'm just taking her on a walk. Like, she's just enjoying this car show with me, you know, like nothing, just getting out of the house, you know what I mean? So, but,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I've never really been into reptiles until recently. Like I said, the crested gecko was my first reptile that I had ever owned. But then I actually, one of my mom's dogs found a little tiny eastern mud turtle hatchling, and it was out in the yard and brought it to her. and she kept it for me. So now I have a baby Eastern
Yeah.
mud turtle in a 10-gallon tank because they stay so small, and he's literally like this big. It's probably a little bit bigger
Yeah,
than
they're
quarter.
tiny. They're
you know,
tiny.
he's very, very
Yeah.
tiny. He's actually in with some neon Tetras and a couple of I think they're chili rasboras, the really tiny rasboras. And at first they were like scared of him,
Yeah.
but now they go and steal the food right out from underneath him. So they got used to him really quick when they figured out he wasn't going to eat them. Um, and then my mom just got me 3 Redfoot tortoises. And so I actually cleared my dining room table, which was, and ended up putting an enclosure together and getting them, and they're doing really good now too. So I know those will be a lifetime commitment. So the next
Yeah, they live a long time.
year, they'll be in the house until they're making an outdoor enclosure for them.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm having.
Yeah. I'm like you keep cutting in and out, and I'm wondering if it's my earbuds, but I have tiny ears, so these things don't really stay in there very well.
I'm having some issues with my.
No, and I can't see.
I'm having some issues with my
Oh, there you are. There you
Wi-Fi,
are.
and it keeps going out.
See, I thought that was probably gonna. Well, I thought my problem was gonna be my phone because it took so long to get you that picture. But yeah, mine's doing great. Still gonna get a new phone though. I don't like this one.
It's weird because my actual Wi-Fi on here says that I have all bars because I'm in the same room as the router. But then on StreamYard, my Wi-Fi is unstable, which is weird. I've not had that issue before. Let me. I'm going to try and pull out and come back in. So hold on just a minute. I'll be right back.
You got it. Now it's just me. Big screen. How's everyone's night? I can't see chat. I should have had it brought up on my other screen, my other monitor, but I'm a noob. Complete noob. I'll learn as I go. What do you see, Booger? There we go.
All right, I changed it to a lower um stream setting, but it's still saying it's having issues. So anyway, well, we keep going, and if it gets too bad, then we'll just end it.
Okay,
So,
yeah. I gotta get my
but
kid in about 30. Her rides always
yeah,
fail
there's
on
only a
her.
few people in chat. I don't.
Who's all
We
here?
don't have
Because I
anything
can't
from the
see.
chat right now. Lady R, if you're still here, let us know.
So, does anyone know about a mono shrimp? Because I heard that like you can't like they won't actually lay their eggs or they won't actually hatch in fresh water. But I'm pretty sure I have a female that's pregnant, which is weird. It's one of the ones I moved for the new Shelleys, but I'm uncertain if they're gonna hatch.
So from what I've seen in the research that I did on Amanos is that they can supposedly lay eggs in fresh water, but the eggs won't develop in fresh water. They have to have brackish
Yeah,
water to
yeah.
actually
And
develop and hatch.
I thought about pulling her and putting her in this tank that I got right next to me and just making it a little bit brackish to see like what would happen, but I'm like it's just a mono shrimp. The beta will probably eat the eggs or the endlers that are in
A
there.
lot of people,
But
yeah, a lot of people do have issues actually hatching them out and raising them. And I don't even know if the adults can live in brackish. Like I would be more inclined to put her in with while it's still fresh and let her lay the eggs and then take her out, put her back in the original tank, and then pull the
yeah,
salinity up
yeah,
in the eggs to see if they'll hatch. But I have
yeah, I
no
could do that. I could do that.
clue. The kid never even like.
Well, it's a good experiment. I mean, I just got the one. I mean, I got three of them in there, but I think the other two are males. But I didn't think they were actually gonna make
Yeah,
it. I threw them in the tank just to kind of like get it started, and here they are. They're like, this big, doing fine. So, like, all right, well, the tank must be
Amanas
doing
get
something right.
really big.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they are really sensitive. They're really sensitive shrimp from what I've seen. Um, we actually got some to put in my mom's tank because she had some blackbeard algae, and blackbeard is extremely hard to get rid of. And the one thing that they said will eat the blackbeard is a mono shrimp. Well, the problem is that she also had a pictus catfish. She no longer
That like
has the pictus catfish. Um, they
I know.
disappeared, and then I went and got her like 6 rummy nose tetras, and it was another type of tetra because she's turning her tank slowly into an all tetra tank. She has some basmati rainbows and a couple of other things in there. They're getting really old. She's had them. They were the very first fish that she put in there. So as they're getting older and dying off, the only thing she's adding to the tank are tetras, different types of tetras. But that Pictus catfish decided to eat all of her rummy nose. All of the smaller fish got eaten by that Pictus catfish.
Oh
So
my
the Pictus catfish went to the local fish store
god.
for them to bring home because it was eating everything. So
Yeah.
looks
You're
like we
done.
have Sadie in chat now. Glass box swimmers. Hey there. He's
Hey,
saying
what's going on?
hello or she to both of us. If you have any questions, Glassbox, let us know. Um, we've had a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully they'll resolve now, but we're probably not going to go
Geeked out.
very long tonight because I didn't realize that we were streaming over someone. Um, but and you've got like 20 minutes before you need to leave, right?
Yeah, to go pick up my daughter. She's a hard
Yeah.
worker, so gotta make sure she gets to and from
Yeah.
that money. She gotta be have that take you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's a good kid. She's gonna go to college, I'm sure, because she sees what happens if you don't. But whether or not she does with that,
Yeah.
that's, you know.
Well, and you know, these days you don't exactly have to go to a actual college to get good work.
No, she can end up doing something and own her own business for all I know. Their kids' minds are crazy nowadays, so but
yeah. I mean, it definitely helps. Definitely helps. But there are some technical schools and stuff that you can go to technical school and make just as much money
yeah. Yeah.
doing something
Yeah.
than going for 5 years in college or 8 years in college.
And then still
Come,
not knowing
buddy,
what you
you can
want
lay
to do.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Yeah.
I turned 40 this year and I'm
I
still unsure
graduated
what I
from
want to
bed.
do.
Yeah, I actually went to school for EMS and was top of my class, and I it was funny. I actually got an award for having the highest amount of um hours out in the field during school. Um, but that was
Nice.
because I was doing like 24-hour shifts with the ambulance crews, my local ambulance crews. I'd go and do the all of that. So definitely had some calls that I'll never forget. Oh, buddy, go lay down. You can go lay down on the cover.
I believe that.
But
Believe that.
then I became just so I didn't go about a year left. It would have taken me another year and a half, I think, to get my paramedic. I would have had to go back for more classes, but I graduated and got licensed as in back then it was EMT intermediate. We had basic, intermediate, and paramedic. Now it's all different. Everything's changed. But back then I was intermediate. Um, but it definitely helped with some other things that I've in their life with people being sick and stuff. It gave me a lot of information. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll be able to do something again.
Yeah. I've done a lot of jobs. I just figure life's too short to do one thing. Just one. Just like owning one fish. You just gotta own a whole lot more, you know? Like it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, so Glassbox said that's the route I took. It worked out for me and no college debt, which is nice. The classes I did
Yes.
take were affordable going to a technical college. And that's what I was saying is technical college. I went to tech and I paid, they actually had a monthly thing, but I paid it all out of pocket. Um, going to debt, going to a technical college, and would have been making the same as somebody who, you know, had a business degree and was being a business manager type of things. So with a lot less debt. So,
Yeah.
but what works for some people won't work for others. So, but
Right. That is true. That is true.
um, so what all kind of I don't remember if you said or not because everything went crazy with the stream. Um, Did you say what all kind of fish you keep other than the betas and the multis?
Um, I have, let's see. Beta shrimp, shrimp beta. I have I, a funny thing, the next tank that I was going to, I have minnows, just the feeder fish minnows, because we go to the river a lot and I find like actual moss growing in the river, so I'll grab it and bring it home and put it in a tank. And I had this tank where I didn't know what I was doing with it, so I threw a piece of wood in there, threw some, what do I have, fluval? I think I got fluval, it might be fluval and sand cap. But and I threw this piece of moss in there, and then I was like, well, let me go get some minnows to like, help really cycle it, I bought 12 of these minnows. They gave me like
Mm.
20, and I still have 13 of them. They will not die. Like, not that like that's what I was getting them for, but these things are the hardiest fish I've ever had. And they're in there with a beta and a mystery snail. They all just hang out and kind of chill.
Wow.
And that's the tank where I put all my sponges to get them ready for my next tank because it's a well cycled tank. Um, but then I
Yeah.
also have beta with endlers and the Amano and an auto sinkless. And then I have in my Harry Potter tank I have tons of cherry shrimp that came over with a filter. I have a leopard frog pleco in there, a gold nugget pleco, and then I have my 4 houses. I have chili rasboras, dwarf emerald rasboras, some forktail rainbows, and Kubatoy rasboras, the neon green ones, in that tank. And then
That's cool.
And then I have 3 female betas living with a ton of shrimp. I have actually my Bloody Mary shrimp, a clown pleco, which I haven't seen, but my wife sees every once in a while. And then Autosynclus, some Rubby Nose Tetras. What else is in that tank? Panda Cories. And then I got the Shellys in one, and then I've got a beta with some Bolivian
Yeah.
rams, some zebra danios, and some neon tetras with some nearite snails. So
Wow.
I've got
Now
I've got a,
that is
and they all hang out.
the beta with the Bolivian Rams. That is
3,
amazing.
and the
I would
beta
think that
runs
would
the
be
tank.
like,
She's a female though; it's not a
yeah.
male. So, but
Mm,
yeah, she runs the tank. She eats first. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You're able to pull that off because that's
Yeah.
not something every day. That's definitely
No, and
so that's cool.
yeah,
Hey, vibes.
they they just all hang out. What's up, vibes? Yeah, it's crazy. And my 20-gallon, the one that I have with the 3 female betas, the shrimp breed in there like crazy. Like I don't have to do anything. The betas don't even like mess with them. When I feed the shrimp the calcium, they you'll see
Mhm.
like a shrimp just pile. The beta will go down there and like he's having a conversation with the shrimp. Won't touch any of them and then swim away. I've been meaning to like get it on video, like a little short, just to show that. But every time I catch it, I think about grabbing
That
it.
would
By the
be a
time the
good
data's already
short.
gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, what? Like, and every time I'm like, you better not eat any of your friends, and they don't. So yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I've got a female beta in a 5 gallon, and the 5 gallon is one of the ones I'm having a little bit of an issue with right now. Basically, I did a water change a couple months ago, and it threw everything off, and they have changed my water. So instead of using chlorine, they're using chloramine now. And for some reason, there's excess of organics in our water. So I'm having to go and buy spring water to do some water changes with for that particular tank because it literally gave me green water.
Oh, yeah, that's only good if you want it.
Day, I all of a sudden had green water right
Yeah.
after I did the water change.
Yeah.
So I'm having a little bit of issues with it, but it's a and I actually went to Aquaticon in Knoxville, Tennessee this year in April. It was actually my sister's birthday, and so I got her to go with me, and we celebrated her birthday and went to my fish thing, so I could see all my friends. So we got to visit some family up there and stuff too, which was really fun. But it was the first time I had ever done any kind of aquascaping contest, and there was three different sections, and so each section had three tanks per section. So I did the 5 gallon tank with two other people, competed against two other people, and I actually won first place, which was really cool. It was one of the it was like a blind thing where the people who were judging them weren't allowed to know whose tank was whose and stuff like that. And so that was pretty cool. Ed was one of the judges. And so that's the tank that I actually have that female beta in. And what happened was while I was up there, I also have sponges and everything to jumpstart a cycle. And so while I was up there, I went to Aquatic Marine. I think it was Aquatic Marine. The guy who actually put on Aquaticon, his shop, which is James's fish shop, which I believe is Aquatic Marine. It may not be. That might be Ed's. I get them confused. Anyway, I went to his shop and picked out this beta. Absolutely gorgeous female. And that's her tank. Um, and I have some MTS Malaysian trumpet snails in there with her. So they keep the algae down on plants and stuff. But the plants that I had in there did really good for a really good while, and then they just started dying off. And so it's kind of went out of whack for the last couple months. So I'm trying to redo it. And I had taken some of the plants out because at first they were growing so much that I was able to trim them and replant them in other tanks. And so I've still got them growing in the other tank so that I when I get them growing good enough in the other tank, I can redo this tank with the original plants. But everything had hold
Think I'm losing you.
okay. Everything in that tank came from Tennessee, from Aquaticon or up there in the fish store. So I'd added some floating plants, which were, I think it was Sylvania. And now I've got Echo. But it had duckweed in it. And I had been looking for duckweed because nobody around here has duckweed. And I love duckweed. Everybody hates it because it reproduces so quickly. But I absolutely love it. And I have goldfish in my
It doesn't
pond outside. So if I get too much of it, huh?
It doesn't grow
I
in my
couldn't hear
tanks
you.
for some reason. And
Duckweed
my
doesn't?
wife's tanks. No, no, no. It grows in my wife's tanks, but it doesn't grow in mine. But she has guppies. I think that
See?
might be the trick.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
yeah.
I just know nobody around here has it because nobody likes it because it usually grows out of, which it doesn't grow out of control in my tanks either. It pretty much has stayed in control. Um, hey Matt, how are you doing?
Hey, Matt.
Matt, look who just joined us.
There's
But,
only one.
well, yeah, I get people's names all mixed up, so
Yeah.
I never know any.
Matt.
But yeah, so I actually was able to get a hold of some duckweed with those plants. And so now I've got duckweed, and I think it's still something Sylvania minima or something like that. I don't know. It's a floating
Smaller floater.
plant.
Yeah.
Vibes, you've got duckweed. But I've taken out handfuls and put it in my other tanks, and some of my other tanks now, two of my other tanks now have it. So that's exciting. But the thing about duckweed for me is even with I think it's Sylvania is how you say it. I can throw it if it gets too much in my little tanks. I can throw it out in the pond in the front yard with goldfish. They'll eat it. So free food for the goldfish. So
Yes. Yes.
which I
All
had
right,
to
Sarah,
finish
I
the
gotta go.
backyard pond.
My kid, she
Yeah.
called and said she's done, so I gotta drive to go pick her up.
Okay. Well, it was
Thank
good having you
you for
on.
having me
We'll
out.
have to do it
Yes.
again one night. Maybe not as late next time.
Yeah,
But
I'm an early.
yeah, we'll
I'm an
definitely
early
do it
person.
again.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
See you guys.
You're welcome. Bye. So anyway, it's just me now. I'm gonna go for a few more minutes at least. Um, but what I was saying is that I have not done anything else in my backyard pond. I've got it pretty much all cleaned out. I still have a little bit of stuff I need to get out of it, but as you all have heard me say before, I do not do snakes. I cannot stand snakes. They give me nightmares. And I've had 3 snakes in my backyard, 2 of which were in my pond while we were cleaning it out. So that got put on hold until the snakes are like gone for the winter. So I also have to. The pond has been out there for, I want to say 15 years, 20 years, something like that. It used to be an old swimming pool that we had when we were kids, and then she tore it down and built a pond out of it. It was my grandma's pond, and so the black liner has been damaged around the top, and it actually has plants and roots growing through the top of the liner, and so I can't fill it up all the way until I fix all of that. So maybe a while before I get water back in it and get it back going, but I'll get it done one day. But the front pond is still doing absolutely wonderful. I've got to get out there and trim up my lilies and get them overwintered for next year. But anyway, does anybody have any questions or have anything they want to talk about? Because I really didn't have anything planned. I just wanted to get back into going live because I haven't done it in a while. And I miss you guys. Vibes, do you like your duckweed or do you not like your duckweed? I know some people don't like it. Yeah, awesome. I love it too. I think it's so pretty. It's so little and dainty and just it's for me it's beautiful. I love it. And I like that I can feed it to my fish if I get. Yeah, glass box. I've noticed my tanks that have the higher flow, they don't like as much as the tanks that are lower flow. And then also, it won't grow in my multis tank at all. Um, completely. I put a handful in, and I don't know if maybe it's because it's a higher pH in there or not. But it's growing in both of my beta tanks and it's growing in my Bumblebee Goby tank, but it won't grow in my other tanks. All right, guys, there's only a few of us in here, but I'm going to go ahead and cut out for the night. I've got to find a day that I can stream where I'm not streaming over anybody because I really don't like going over people. Yeah, Glassbox, I don't understand. I'll have to do some research and look into what duckweed actually likes, the parameters that it likes, because I haven't really looked into that. Good night, vibes. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you in chat.